Welcome to an episode of VoiceOvers from textVerse. Considering the situations in the recent times, there has been a lot of unemployment in our country, particularly those who have freshly passed out of colleges and B schools. Earlier, there used to be unemployment, seasonal unemployment at the most. People used to go out and find some job, whether it's abroad or in some sort of a related field to their education. But what has happened in the recent times means even if they are not getting the job and they are willing to go out and look for a job, staying out as a bachelor in some remote city such as Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi, Mumbai, wherever they could find such jobs, or people from the north who come to Chennai for the same reason. All of those instances have now come to a grinding standstill because of the global coronavirus pandemic that we are experiencing currently. In light of all these situations, we at textVerse, the team, have decided to come up with a series which may help the seekers of job opportunities in such a dire business and economic scenario. And with this respect that we are starting this series, and it is a very, very crucial imperative that many more such channels come up with ideas as to how entrepreneurship may be the future way, or the gig economy or DIY sort of an economy will be the future course of action. And we are coming to terms with how the United States has coped up with the unemployment. More and more people are filing for bankruptcy and unemployment claims in the United States too, but that case is drastically different from the case of India, where people who are educated are entirely dependent upon the jobs instead of entrepreneurship and other do-it-yourself own sort of self-employment stuff. The do-it-yourself is usually kind of a freelancing thing, or it may be carpentry, electrician, plumbing, whatever vocational works that they are skilled at other than the regular coursework. There are a lot of opportunities for people who know their own handicrafts or sort of some other skill sets apart from the regular curriculum. But this cannot be a regular breadwinner for them, but can save them in the case of emergencies such as the pandemic that we are facing today. Entrepreneurship, on the other hand, needs capital. Without capital of some sorts, be it angel investing, be it full funded ventures or bootstrapping, whatever it may be, we need drastic amounts of funds for entrepreneurship. In such a case, Indian startup ecosystems do not have the same kind of leverage that we have in the US and the European markets. Why we are saying this in spite of efforts being drastically taken, such as NSRCEL from the IIMB and even the IIT Madras incubation centers. These are just bolts in the blue kind of rare instances. Some of these are really good in their efforts to multiply the spirit of entrepreneurship by providing a proper ecosystem and financial nourishment required for the budding entrepreneurs. But mostly this is an uncharted territory in a very particularly conservative country like India, where from the very beginning that we are always kind of force-fed into a mindset that we should not take risks, and even if it's a risk, it should be with a hard-earned and saved money and not from a borrowed or a investor money, because we basically have faced poverty and isolation from external trade till 1991 when the economy opened up LPG. Only after that period There were entrepreneurs before, business founders, even before that period, but very few and meager. After LPG set in only, and the dot-com boom also contributed a lot to entrepreneurship in our country. And after that dot-com boom burst, there was a period of stagnation, and yet again the entrepreneurship started sort of creeping back in. But the case of India and other countries cannot even be compared because of the humongous population in our country, and also due to the scarce resources. An idea to win here must cross so many different types of hurdles. But there are other sort of ecosystems that we are talking about in the case of entrepreneurship, like say a content ecosystem like Spotify, YouTube, a blog like Medium where it can be monetized in the case of the United States and not in the case of India. There are so many differences that we are talking about, and even among this content ecosystem on a pay as per you click basis, there are kind of job opportunities. And when it comes to freelancing and entrepreneurships as per se, you cannot place your bets entirely on your career. So this sort of a nagging ecosystem needs to be changed with more policy imperatives for more startup and eco-friendly culture, or where the startups ecosystems are much more open to new ideas, but the dearth of funding is always seems to be the curtailing the free flow of ideas, translation into actionable startups. Even when the business plan is kind of innovative or disruptive, the amount of funding required stops many such projects in an early stage. The people either who founded the startups or the investors who were initially excited by the idea but later found it not to be feasible in the longer run, they stop funding and divert to other ideas. That is not a bad thing, but if there were enough funding in India, like in the case of Silicon Valley or some other comparable area, we would have more and more exciting ideas, huge ideas like Facebook, sort of an idea, the next big idea that will be coming from India, and not just sort of a paraphrased idea that India usually makes in the case of entrepreneurship, like Flipkart copied, not, you cannot say copied, it is paraphrased from Amazon for the Indian setting, Indian context, with innovations like cash on delivery and stuff. But when are we going to come up with the single brilliant next idea, like a Google or like a YouTube, or for any such example? These are just the examples that come to my mind this instant, but they are not the only ones. We have so many different ideas in so many different fields, and I'm just talking about the technology domain. So we at ExamVerse explore every such model that will be possible. The textVerse and ExamVerse plus Tamil Brand Raja ecosystems will work in tandem in order to provide some insights and explanations as well as solutions and suggestions in this particular area. And stay tuned for more exciting updates on this particular space. Thanks a lot and have a nice day.